Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the 1951 Alfred Hitchcock thriller, Strangers on a Train. Of course, this movie, don't remember who was starring in it because to me, it was not really other many big stars in this film. So, you can look up and see who starred in it. But this film is like a stereotypical Hitchcock plot. I mean, it's like a crazy murder scheme deal. One of the main characters is this tennis pro who meets some strange guy who is a fan of his on a train. And so they did. Strangers on a train. Two strange guys meet each other on a train. One recognized the other was a tennis pro who was about to play the tennis tournament in Forest Hills, Queens, which is not too far from where I live, actually. Anyway, the two of them start talking, and the guy, not the tennis pro, but the guy who approached the tennis pro says, "Oh, I understand you have some marital problems." And from the gossip pages, and it says, yeah, it's true, but we're trying to work it out and stuff. And found out that he was going through a divorce, and said, "Would it be easier if your wife was killed?" I said, "No, it wouldn't be easier if my wife was killed." Because the tennis pro is dating a daughter of a U.S. senator on the side of his wife, because he's supposed to be married and he has a girl on the side. And so the guy said, "Oh, it wouldn't be easier if your wife was..." And that tennis pro, when the guy meets on the train, says, "It wouldn't be easier if your wife was killed." And it says, "Oh, I have..." And then the guy goes on and says, "I have family problems too." So, "Oh, you do?" So, "Yeah, I wish my father was... someone would kill my father." So the guy proposes to the tennis pro, "Well, why don't we switch murders?" I said, "What do you mean?" "Why don't you kill my father and I kill your wife?" Kind of like a loosey-goosey old contract. "So why don't you kill my father and I kill your wife?" I said, "What, are you crazy? Get the hell..." And he says, pretty much says to him, "Get the hell out of here." He said, "Don't bother me, don't contact me anymore," and stuff like that, because I think you're a nut. Which the guy was. But the guy continued harping on this. And then meanwhile, the guy who proposes to kill the tennis pro's wife decides to do it. And he does do it, and you do see him do it. He follows the tennis pro's wife around in this county fair. Well, I can consider it a county fair, but it was really an amusement park. Follows her around, and I guess to a secluded area of the park, and kills her. Straight out. You see him do it. And you know it's him, and you see him do it. And what the guy had was the tennis pro's cigarette lighter. They figure, "Oh, purposely drop it so he would get the blame for it." But he decides to pick it up anyway, and he leaves. And the tennis pro's wife was there with a few friends, and they saw that she had died, and that one person actually, which we'll find out later, actually witnesses the murder. And saw the guy, and actually saw the guy leave the murder scene. And I don't think he actually saw the murder. He actually saw the guy leave the murder area. So there's only one guy there. And meanwhile, the tennis pro finds out that his wife was killed. And then he knew immediately who it was. There was this whack job he met on the train. And so the whack job for the train decides to contact him and said, "Now it's your turn. Now you have to kill my father." Gives him all the details of his house. Doesn't really get the gun to kill him. Sends him a gun, actually. Tells him everything in the house, the floor plan of the house, so he can sneak in unnoticed and kill his father. And the tennis pro says, "Screw you, I'm not doing it." And of course, he doesn't do it. And so the guy on the stranger on the train, the tennis pro man, decides to frame the tennis pro for killing his wife. Or at least saying, hiring him to kill his wife. And something to that effect. And he was trying every way possible to set this guy up. and he attempts to go back to the murder scene. The guy who killed the tennis pole's wife goes back to the murder scene and decides to drop evidence of the tennis pole's cigarette letter. Well, guess what? So now, so what happened is, so what happens is, of course, the tennis pro tips off the cops because he had 2 cops following him because they were they were curious if he actually did kill his wife. So in following him, the case of the tennis pro would tip these 2 guys off, and then what the tennis pro did was he actually tips the cops off, telling him about what this other guy did. And this other guy actually killed his wife, and he's trying to set him up for doing it. And the guy says, "Why didn't you tell us sooner?" And the guy says, "Oh, wait. Well, because I was afraid that you would have me arrested too." So he says, "Oh, what you do?" And because the guy says, "I was afraid you would accuse me of being associated with this murder plot." So the guy says, so the cop says, "Oh, but if you help us out to nail this guy, we won't charge you with anything." And so the guy says, "Oh, okay, I do that." So that's what happens. They arrested the guy, and as a matter of fact, they had, like I said earlier, they actually had a witness that said, "Hey, I saw him leave the scene just after the girl, just before her friends found her dead." So it said the proof of everything. So, but the movie, even though it's a typical Hitchcock plot with all the murder and stuff, it's not a bad, where you could predict. Though in that time, 1951, when this movie came out, it was a brand new type of plot. Well, now in 2019, it's how this is such a cliche thing, and it's so so many times that something like this happens, and well, that's true. I agree with that stuff, because it's such a cliche now. This type of a plot in this movie now, but at that time, 1951, never saw any stuff like this before. But this movie is such a cliche today, by today's standards. But in 1951, it was a brand new thing, and I didn't think the movie was that bad. It wasn't the greatest movie I've ever seen, but not that awful either. And any of you who are Hitchcock fans, I consider myself a mild Hitchcock fan, not a diehard fan of his work, because they're pretty much all the same. With several variations. It's basically the same with murder, because he's fascinated with murder, Hitchcock. But this is my review of the movie Strangers on a Train. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel, RallyC.com, that's all WDY, C.com, that's all homepage and Rally Reviewer Christy Moore. And please check out all the videos on his website as well. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.